let's jump into data types in Python programming language. Data types are basically the kind of data that is stored in a variable. So in Python, data types are classified into several terms. So we can classify data into numeric data, and which is further classified into the integer, float, and complex. Similarly, the data are classified into the string data types, so which is known by str in short form, or let's say in Python programming language. So similarly, sequence data types like list, tuple, range, and mapping data type dictionary. So we will be talking about the sequence data types and mapping data types later in the course. But right now, we will be talking about numeric data types, string data types, and Boolean data types. So Boolean data types, like a data type which has only got two different values, either true or false. So if you just want to show the contrast between anything, honestly, any variable, then you could use Boolean data types, whether the given variable is either true or false. So it helps to find those kind of things with the help of Boolean data types. So now let's get into the VS Code, and we will be making a new file called data types.py. And right here, I will be showing what integer actually is, what float actually is, what a string actually is, and what boolean actually is with the help of example. So let me introduce a variable, so x, and we have single quotation comma, and I will be writing right here, I am a human. All right. So this is a sentence. So sentence, different phrases, different letters, uh, like which is introduced in a variable is considered as strings in this kind of in Python programming language. So what a string must have is a single quotation, a double inverted comma. So instead of single quotation, if I write double quotation comma, I am a human. So this is also a string. So how can we clarify this is a string or not? So type. Uh, so if I run it right here, so yeah, it gives us class string, right? But if I write then what it gives us is also a string. You know why? Because we introduce the number 10 inside of this double inverted comma, or it can be single quotation mark, right? It doesn't matter whether you write single quotation mark or double inverted comma. So x equals to double inverted comma 10 and double inverted comma close. So what it's basically saying is that 10 is introduced between those commas, double inverted commas. So 10 is considered as string. So right here it is considered as string. But if I remove that double inverted comma and run, then it will give us int. Int means integers. So integers are the numbers in the number line which has like exact value. So without like any decimals uh, uh, after the point. So this is what exactly the integer is. So let's talk about float. And so float is just basically like integer, but which has got decimal points behind, like decimal, like numbers behind that decimal point. So what I could do is run again, and it would show us float. Yeah, so that's it. Like that's the only difference between the integer and float. So integer can be very helpful when we are determining a lot of things and we need a lot of consistency and accuracy. Then float might be really helpful. But for in a regular basis, we will be using integer um, on this programming language. So these are the different kind of things. So yeah, uh, let's write an example of Boolean. X equals to true. Print type X. And right now, what it shows is bool. It shows us Boolean value. So if I write false, false, it shows us the boolean, because like I said earlier, boolean only has two different values, true or false, which can be used in different kinds of things while we are programming on this programming language. So yeah, now this is the end of data types, and let's get in further into the other video.